Are you serious, guys? Are you serious? We're only 5 hours away from the start of the most powerful webinar of the year. Warning, Planet Earth. And I'm telling you right now, it is powerful. You can get your ticket right now. If you go to my website at paulbegleyprophecy.com, you'll be watching the entire webinar tonight. We release your link will be sent to you. Your private link will be sent to you at exactly 6 p.m. Eastern in your email. You can get your ticket by going to paulbegleyprophecy.com or pick up the phone and call 765-414-2230. That's 765-414-2230. Or you can call the if that line's busy, call the other line, 765-414-6299. That's 765-414-6299. And order your ticket by phone, and you'll have it on your email. Guys, get this. And if some people are saying, can I buy tickets for other people? Yes. That you have to do by phone. Call the number 765-414-2230 or 765-414-6299. Now, I'd like to do this. I'm going to give you a little sample of this webinar. I'm going to give you a little sample. There's 8 presentations, 8 incredible speakers in this, and I can't believe how good it is. But let's give you a little bit. I think we should give you a little bit of BP EarthWatch. Why not? BP EarthWatch. He has an incredible information. He talks about a lot of different things, especially big earthquakes and different locations and what's causing these things, and the oil being pumped out of the ground and a lot of different stuff, okay? But he also takes his time to explain some really good stuff about Atlas 3I, and I'd like for you to hear it. So let's, if you don't mind, let's do it. Let's go to and listen a little bit to BP EarthWatch. Let's take about 5 minutes of his presentation. It's really, really good. Okay, we got it right there. Okay.
And Atlas is the blue line that's coming in from the bottom and going out at the top.
Okay.
Now, it is almost in our ecliptic. You can see from the drop lines on the blue line.
Yep. Right there. You still there, BP? Folks, hang on a second. We just lost
We're not looking at it. Have you got it there?
Yeah, okay, we got you.
Okay, now, the blue line going through there, again, that is the Trail of Atlas, and I've stopped it at today's location. That's the little dot there, and you can see the writing, but coming in from the bottom.
Okay, I see it.
Again, it's close to the ecliptic. That was one of the strange things. It wasn't coming in from a high altitude and going out or looping around. And that was one of the things that Avi pointed out.
Yeah.
Very, very unusual. Well, where it's at right now, stopping on today's date, Paul, is the asteroid belt. It's not showing there, but it's almost exactly where the asteroid belt is.
So the Kuiper belt, you're saying?
No, the asteroid
belt. The asteroid belt.
Mars and Jupiter, yeah. It was a planet.
Okay.
It used to be the 5th planet, but it got crushed by Jupiter. And it's now the asteroid belt. So it would be the 5th planet, but now it's a ring of millions of asteroids.
Okay. So that's where it's at. That's where it's at today, right there.
Right there. If you can peek through the bottom left there, you can see that it's set at 0812 today. But it's kind of in the gray background. Anyway, I paused it there. I was looking at the whole JPL. So coming in at that ecliptic, and as it gets closer to Mars, it's going down. It's getting right into the ecliptic. The white lines that are going down are getting shorter. So could we have an interruption in the asteroid belt itself? And what would happen there?
Okay.
Now, because it's going pretty close to the ecliptic. Now, if you pull that image down one frame, you'll see a big blue square with the asteroid belt in it.
Keep going, Izzy. Right there.
Just right there. All right, so it has come in. You see the orbit of Mars, and then outside of Mars is the asteroid belt, and then Jupiter is the outer blue ring. Well, so that's where it's at, halfway between Jupiter and Mars, and that asteroid belt is huge. You even have a small planet there they call Ceres.
Yeah.
And so it's that big. but there's thousands and thousands that this thing will be traveling through. Just it's interesting because it's at that ecliptic, that close to everything coming in. And the ecliptic is if you could get off to the side and it looks like all the orbits are the same, but each one varies.
Yeah.
But again, it's coming in low and it's got to go through there. And that's an interesting story in itself, how the Jupiter was pulled into the inner solar system. The planet of the crossing and destroyed that planet right there. And then as Jupiter pulled back, it added 60 moons to the Galilean moon list that Galileo had marked looking from his ground-based telescope. So that's where you got the rings of Saturn, the moons built from the missing planet. And anyway,
that's a lot of asteroids. I mean, I know it looks really condensed on a screen like this, and you're thinking about an object that's size of Manhattan flying through there. But there is a possibility. Is there a possibility this thing could hit an asteroid on its way in?
Well, we don't know. It hasn't ever been really witnessed on ones coming in that fast at that ecliptic.
Right.
At that level with everything else. But that's just one of the factors there that is going on with it. And I'm thinking, Paul, that it's 3 objects.
Okay.
Now, if you go back above the JPL image, you'll see a green dot, a blob.
That right there.
All right, that's a close-up of Atlas. Again, no tail.
So this just a little sample here of what BP EarthWatch is talking about in this webinar. Now, his presentation is actually 1 hour and 6 minutes. He really does a great job in breaking this situation down. I mean, to be honest with you, it's incredible that we're dealing with this Atlas 3I. So I hope this helps. That's BP EarthWatch. I was talking to BP EarthWatch. Well, actually, what you were seeing there that's about 4.5 minutes of BP EarthWatch's presentation on this webinar. And you can see he goes into detail, and he makes it easier for you to understand as you're imagining that Atlas 3I at an incredible speed, the size of Manhattan, the fastest object that's ever entered into our solar system, flying right now. It's already went past Jupiter's orbit, and now it's headed toward Mars's orbit, but it hasn't got there yet. It's in the middle of the asteroid belt, which I didn't realize that there was a 5th planet that had been crushed millions of years ago, and that's why that's an asteroid belt. It's the leftover debris from that entire planet that's hung up in the orbit, in its own orbit, and so 3I Atlas is coming right through there. And I mean, it may hit. I mean, it's big. It's the size of Manhattan. It could easily, millions of asteroids, it could hit one. It could hit 5. It could hit one, and that one could hit another one, and it'd be sort of like a pool table of a ricocheting scenario. And then it could send something our way, because as this thing goes through there, it's going to go in between Mars and Earth. It's going to go right in between Mars and Earth, about halfway between both of these planets, Mars and Earth, as it goes zipping past. This is why it's a very interesting situation, because it has no tail. That's it right there. BP sent that to me where he worked it through you'll see this. He explains how that, and we now know that it's not emanating nickel and iron, but instead it's only emanating from it nickel, which is what you would do if you were running a nuclear spaceship. It would just be burning. It would be emanating out just nickel. So is that what this is? I mean, that's why Avi keeps coming back with this. As a matter of fact, Avi Loeb does his presentation in this webinar. Guys, I don't want to tell you, BP is phenomenal in this, and I just want to give you a little snapshot of what you'll get when you get this webinar. Just simply go to our website at paulbegleyprophecy.com. That's paulbegleyprophecy.com, and get this ticket. Okay, and you'll get to see all of BP EarthWatch's presentation, plus all of Mike from around the world and Stan Deo and Gil Brazard, who talks about Planet X, and Avi Loeb, who's about an hour and a half presentation. And then the map that Mike Around the World gave us, and that gets revealed in this webinar, and all the information that goes with it. It takes about 30 minutes for me to explain that all on the map. Mike sent that to me, and so you'll be able to see it. You'll be able to look at that map and say, "Oh, that's where I live, right there." And then you say, "Whoa, are you in the danger zone?" So it's very important. I think everybody needs to get this webinar. And if you know someone who wants to get the webinar and you'd like to buy them a ticket, you can do that. But you have to do that by phone. So you get on the phone, call the number 765-414-2230, or the backup number 765-414-6299. Call the number. If it's busy, call the other line. If it's busy, call that line. You'll get through. This is a hot ticket right now. People are just, they're swarming the website, getting their tickets, and they're calling. Both phone lines are jamming up, but you will get through. This is why I'm talking about it right now, as we're about 4 hours and 40 minutes away, something like that. We're 4 hours, 40 minutes away from the start of this webinar. Now, guys, if you get your ticket at 6 o'clock, your link will come to you to your email. Now, if you call because you're wanting to buy a ticket also for someone else, get their email. You got to have their email, because that's what we're going to ask you. You want to buy a ticket for who? For Aunt B? What's her email? Because we're going to send her link at 6 p.m. Eastern. Now, if there's some weird reason at 6 p.m. or 6:05 and you're looking at your email and you don't see it and you're freaking out, don't freak out. It's probably in the spam, okay? Because or if you've blocked me, okay, and I know you didn't mean to, but if you put a block on me sending you emails, then I can't get this link to you. You'll have to go in there and get that link. You take that thing off so I can get the link to you. That happens to just a very few people, but make sure you haven't got some kind of block on there, okay? But we'll do everything we can to get you your link, but it shouldn't be a problem. When we release these webinar links at 6 p.m., the last webinar, 98% of the links got to you folks on time, right to your email. 2% didn't get it. We don't know why. Maybe we were blocked and they didn't know they had blocked incoming emails because they were trying to block the spam. And I'm not spamming. I'm not the spam, ma'am. Check the spam, ma'am. It's not me. I'm just trying to get you your stuff, okay? But we'll get it to you. If you have any problem at all, you pick up the phone and call tonight, 765-414-2230 or 765-414-6299. And Tara and Heidi will be working those phones, and they'll help you get your ticket to see this webinar. And I tell you something, go get it right now, because they got to, when you go and order it, they have to manually put you in the system ready for the 6 o'clock release. So I do that right now. I would go get my ticket right now, as we're in the last 4 hours and 40 minutes before liftoff. Okay. Praise God. And of course, Ms. ED is always around in case somebody is having a technical issue and just needs help. Okay. We can always send you to her, and she can solve anything and everything. So thank God for that. All right. Let me just say this. BP EarthWatch is amazing in this presentation. You definitely want to get your ticket. It's worth every minute. 7 hours of information coming to you from 8 different presentations. I guarantee you that when you watch it, you can binge watch it tonight, get some popcorn, stay up late, and watch this webinar. Or watch one episode a night if you want to, or watch it as many times you want. Stop it. You can watch any speaker in any order you want, as many times as you want. I mean, this is amazing. I mean, you don't need Netflix. You need the webinar. You don't need to spend $19 for a movie that is just pretty well useless. You need the webinar. You don't need 2 movies. You need the webinar. And I'm being honest with you. This is going to give you the information you need, and certainly will inspire you of the events that's taking place around the world. I'll be back, guys. No. You want to? I know. I forgot. Somebody said you got it. Okay, I know. I promised. There it is. Reading Hemingway. I promised. Get the ticket, guys. Go to my website or pick up the phone and call one of the two phone numbers as it's on the ticker going by. The map. You want to see the map.
I see geese flying high above the water, a child fishing with his father in the rain. I can smell blackberry brandy and chocolate-covered candy. I see a soldier crying on a train, falling asleep, reading Hemingway. And the light under the Tiffany lamp glows all night long as I dream with weary wonder, leaving Earth before the dawn. I walk the lonely streets of Paris. I was lost and so afraid, falling asleep, reading Hemingway. I feel the deepness of his weakness. I can taste the brandy sweetness at a roadside Idaho cafe. I can hear old Teddy laughing, Fitzgerald's toes a-tapping to the roaring sounds of yesterday. Falling asleep, reading Hemingway. And the light under the Tiffany lamp glows all night long as I dream with weary wonder, leaving Earth before the dawn. I walk the lonely streets of Paris. I was lost and so afraid, falling asleep, reading Hemingway. And the light under the Tiffany lamp glows all night long as I dream with weary wonder, leaving Earth before the dawn. I walk the lonely streets of Paris. I was lost and so afraid, falling asleep, reading Hemingway. And a shotgun blast echoed across the page, falling asleep, reading Hemingway.
Mike Ward wrote that song. He's written several songs for country artists in Nashville, and he's a personal friend of Israel Hall. And story behind that song, he wrote that song 20 years ago, and Winona Judd had committed that she was going to record it, but the weekend, and she was going to go into the studio on that coming Monday, but on that weekend, her husband was in a horrific car accident, and so she had to cancel that album for 6 months, and then when she did, she didn't include the song. Then a few years later, Elton John, of all people, made the commitment that he was going to record this song. But then just a week or so before he was to record it, he changed his mind and chose another song instead to put on his album. So Mike Ward was kicking this song around, saying, he had it almost got it in two different major stars. Israel Hall said, well, I got a pastor that might sing it for you. And you know what? Mike Ward got on the phone, and I talked to him on the phone. He said, "You know what? Go ahead, go ahead. Maybe it was for you to record it." So anyway, Joseph Shackelford plays the violin on this so beautifully. Also, I brought in a guy by the name of Gabriel. He lives in Nashville, and he plays the cello. So you hear the beautiful, beautiful sound of the violin by Joseph Shackelford, and wonderful sound also in there of the cello from a guy by the name of Gabriel. Matter of fact, it's on the album. His name is on there. I can't remember his last name at this moment. Anyway, you can get that album. It's called Harmonize and Prophesy, and of course, it's at my website. So maybe when you go over there to the website, you say, "Hey, I'd love to get that." You can get your ticket today, and might as well pick up one of the albums of we have for Music for People. Okay, Kevin Wilson's song music is there as well, and Israel Hall music is there, and so you can pick up some of that too if you want to. All right, guys, I'll be back in a little bit with more current world events as we're marching toward webinar that's warning planet Earth. I'll be back.